AITA for not going to my sister's birthday dinner with the rest of our family? My older sister turned 20 a week ago and she celebrated with dinner Saturday night. I, 16 meters, didn't go with my parents and my brother, 15 meters. I have another sister, 23, who went, and so did both sets of grandparents and our aunt and uncle. I'm the only family member who didn't show, and my paternal grandparents are so pissed about it because she was upset. I need to give some background. I'm adopted. My bio mother didn't want to be a parent and I was supposed to be raised by my first dad. But when I was 3 he got sick and after a few months he was told it was terminal. He didn't have family, being a former foster kid. My bio mother didn't want to take me and her family weren't interested either. So my first dad wanted to find a home for me. He wanted to be a part of picking the people who would raise me. He wanted to be sure I'd be okay. So he worked with a social worker and after so many different families he found my parents. They already had 3 kids, my 2 sisters and brother, and they were open to fostering or adopting. They really clicked and dad knew they were people who would give me a good life. All 3 of my parents grew close before my first dad died. He made a box of letters, videos and other little things for me, like his watch, and that was supposed to keep me connected to him. My parents always let me access that stuff and I kept some of the letters in my room. 18 months ago a few of the letters went missing and I thought I'd lost them. I freaked but my parents had copies. Then 6 months ago I found my sister, 20, destroying the copies. We fought and she admitted she did the same thing before too. She said she hated that I held onto them so much and clung to that part of my life. She said I was meant to be their son, brother, and instead I chased after a dead guy. I screamed that I wouldn't exist without that dead guy and if it wasn't for him, I never would have ended up with him. My parents weren't home but dad came home to us screaming at each other. He stepped in and he kicked my sister out when he learned what she'd done. When my mom got home my parents admitted to me that they only ever gave me copies of the letters and stuff and the originals were all kept safe by them. They said a house full of kids never felt like the safest place to have them out in the open and copies felt safest. Knowing the original ones my first dad actually wrote and made were still there was the best feeling. My parents were furious with my sister. I'm still not speaking to her. They're still mad but she's their daughter and I told them they don't need to stop talking to her too but to please respect I can't be around her, which they do. My parents got a lot of crap for letting me stay home but my grandparents also told me how wrong I was. They said I'm not giving my sister a chance to make things right and I should be more understanding given the emotions involved in adoptive families. They said what I did was worse than what my sister did. AITA?